All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Sorry about that. Welcome to the first episode of Role Players. Guys, we are back in the studio. We just did a crunch time, but it's so good to have you guys back. I can't say it enough. Welcome back, guys.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. I'm excited for what this semester has in store. I know Dillon is too, but
I'm juiced.
I mean, it's we had a great Crunch Time episode, so go check that out if you're looking at this. But it's gonna be fun. I just love talking sports with you guys. You know that.
No doubt, Dillon. It's good to have you back, buddy.
I'm glad to be back, man. It feels good to be somewhere and like do what I love to do. Like I don't like doing nothing else.
I mean, listen, we talked about the snowpocalypse we had this past week in Tennessee, and I stayed at home the whole week. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest, the first couple of days, it's like, all right, it's nice to do nothing. But then, like that third, fourth, fifth day, I was like, all right, I got to do something.
Got to get out of the house.
I got to get out of the house. It was brutal. But yeah, we survived the snowpocalypse. We're back in school. Everybody's doing classes. Dillon tried to skip today because he was so fired up to do all this.
I be trying to skip every time, bro. I don't
you
care.
Can't, though. You got to go to class.
That's my dedication, though. That's the class, but when it's time to get rich and famous, they know I'm dedicated. They know I'm dedicated.
That's fair.
Right.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. All right, speaking of dedication, we're dedicated to what we do here, and so we're going to talk about the big topics of the day, and the big one today is the NFL playoffs, because we have the NFC, we have the AFC Championship sets, and guys, we're going to talk about the teams. The big one everyone is talking about. There's really two teams that everyone's talking about right now. Detroit is the big one because they're the Cinderella story, and then the big, bad, evil empire, the Kansas City Chiefs, and
Mahomes
Taylor Swift.
Magic.
Yeah, well, yeah. Is it Mahomes magic or Taylor Swift magic?
Okay.
Nah, it's still Mahomes magic.
We're already getting started on this Taylor Swift stuff.
No doubt. But let's look at the divisional rounds. Lions outlasted the Bucks. You know, it was a really good game. I thought Tampa Bay played really well. I thought they played well enough to win the game, but the two turnovers, the two interceptions, one bounced right off Mike Evans' hand. Their first possession led to Lions points, and then the last interception thrown by Baker sealed the deal. So, but it was a really good game. Give the Bucs a lot of credit. I thought they played really well. I didn't think it was going to be that close of a game. But the Lions get that win, so they go 2-0 in Ford Field. So they're going to be undefeated at home in the playoffs for at least 1 year, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Coming from a former Lions fan, I appreciate that.
Why are you former?
Stafford, baby. I roll with Stafford every day of the week.
So are you a Rams fan now, or?
I'm a Stafford fan.
Okay.
So you're a Rams fan?
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
A bunch of people did that with Peyton Manning when he went from
that's true.
Colts
Hey,
to Broncos.
a bunch of Tennessee fans did that. They were like, "Hey, go Broncos!
Hey, go Colts, baby!
Hey,
go Broncos!
Go Broncos, baby!" And then another really good game. I have the score wrong on this thing. That's my bad. But the 49ers avoid the massive upset over the Packers, 24-21. I wrote 12, so that's my bad. I can't spell or type. But anyway, that was a really good game. Again, kind of unexpected. Jordan Love played, I thought, pretty well.
Out of his mind.
The last interception was brutal, but I think that was him just trying to make a play. But it's just a terrible idea.
The last game I watched Jordan Love play before starting this entire season was the preseason before Rodgers last year. So was that would that have been
2.5 years?
That was 2 years ago. Yeah.
I kid you not, threw 4 interceptions in the 4 drives that he played.
Oh, I remember that.
And I'm like, this guy can't play. I mean, look at him. Like, he can't play. And then he comes out this year and he looks like a
NFL quarterback.
Yeah, like a legit NFL quarterback. Like, better than half of the starting quarterbacks in the league right now. And I'm like, dude, where?
That's
like,
facts.
what?
They had a Thursday night game they played. I think it was the Raiders, where he looked atrocious. Like, he was,
early.
terrible.
That was early.
And it was early in the season, but then the last month of the season, he just turned into a demon.
No.
And he just flipped a switch, and he's the next great Packers quarterback, apparently. That franchise.
They just find him. I mean,
I don't know what it is.
But they do it right, though. They get him. The experienced quarterback is, a couple years from almost out the door. So they draft a potential rookie. Boom. Man, you get to watch Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. What reason you have not to be a great quarterback?
Yeah,
if you get to watch them for 3-4 years.
I know, but it's so frustrating because everyone else is like looking for that gem.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like they just like just randomly
They
put their
breed
hand in
them.
the dirt, and it was just
Yeah.
like, oh, there it is.
Dude, coming from, me being a Commanders fan, you being a Titans fan, it's like
Oh my
we are just searching for a
Desperate.
quarterback. We're so desperate for a franchise quarterback, and they're just like, oh yeah, Jordan Love at 24, yeah, we'll take him. And then like he turns into the next Aaron Rodgers or whatever.
So Trey just
matter.
sent me a screenshot of the Raiders game, and Jordan Love went 16 for 30 for $182 and 3 picks.
Oh yeah, it's a good stat line.
I mean,
yeah.
you want to talk about a turnaround for him. I mean, going from nothing to something real quick. But so, hey, they got a good future, but the 49ers get the job done. Doesn't look like they're going to have Debo for the championship game, which is huge. And then we're going to look at the Ravens. They flexed their muscles over the Texans 34-10. C.J. Stroud looked really, did the best he could, but I mean, that Ravens defense is legit, dude. Listen, Lamar Jackson's going to win MVP, and their offense is nothing to be upset about. Their offense is really good, but that defense is legit.
No, that defense that create havoc for real.
No doubt. And so that was kind of the one blowout of the entire divisional round, which usually the divisional round is full of blowouts.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking
but good for the Texans. I don't want to look past that. It's
a great.
That's what I'm saying.
Great story.
C.J. Stroud, he has become one of my favorite players outside of the Commanders in the entire league.
And D'Amico Ryans, I hate that he's in the AFC South.
Yeah.
But dadgummit, how can you not root for that guy?
Absolutely, both of them, and like the way that C.J. Stroud conducts himself on the field and off the field, like in his press conferences and whatnot. I'm not gonna get into what he says and whatnot, but like he says the right things.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is exactly why you play the game of football, and he gives glory to the right things.
No doubt. He gives credit to the man upstairs, and listen, if that's what you're about, great. Even if it's not what you're about, great. He stands behind what he believes, and I think we can all get behind that.
Yeah.
So,
and he leads for real.
He leads by example, no doubt. And I think God, every Titans fan was like, oh, we shouldn't draft him. I was like, guys, I'm telling you, he is special.
No, he's legit.
He's just not rah-rah. He's not going to get in your face and, be rah-rah. I mean, he'll get excited on the field, but he's not going to.
He'll give you 4 touchdowns, 352 yards, and 99 quarterback rating. That's
No
rah-rah
doubt.
enough.
It is, yeah.
So, hey, they had a great season. It's going to be exciting to see what they do. But the Ravens, God almighty, that defense is legit.
So good.
And they will face the Taylor Swift-led Chiefs as they outlast the Bills 27-24, as the famous or infamous words in Bills history, wide right, were uttered again by Jim Nantz as Tyler Bass missed I believe it was like a 40-ish yard field.
It was definitely a makeable field.
It was around the same distance as Scott Norwood.
Well, no, but like so they brought this up on I don't know if it was Pardon My Take or if it was Bussin' with the Boys, but if you look up to see like the little tickers on the side of the field goal, they were not moving.
No.
Like I know it was cold, but like they were not moving, and that ball like was perfect until right before the field goal, and it just takes a 90.
See, and I had the same thought watching the game because the way the ball just cut like a golf ball.
Literally, it was
I was
like
like,
a
oh,
slice.
I thought it was the wind, and then they showed the replay of like the shot going straight up the goalpost to show the little flags.
Yeah.
It wasn't moving.
Wasn't moving.
And I was like, well, how did that happen? Because it looked, like you said, it literally looked like a slice. It was straight, and then just.
It did look like the wind. Like if you didn't look at the tickers or whatever, the flags on the top of the field goal, you wouldn't know. You would just think it was wind. But like somebody brought that up, and I was like, dang, like I might need to go back and look at that. And yeah, they were not moving like in the slightest.
No, and it was a 44-yard field goal. Trey just texted me, and the one Scott Norwood missed in the Super Bowl that went wide right was a 47-yarder. So it's in that same ballpark.
Man.
So just brutal. Just brutal.
You want it for the city of Buffalo.
No,
too.
I
don't.
I wanted.
Dude, I love
I wanted a
Buffalo.
Bills Lions Super Bowl so that some poor city could have their moment in the sunshine.
Yeah.
Josh Allen just don't move the needle for me.
He moves the needles for everybody because that dude is a baller.
Dude, I
Yeah,
would
he a
take Josh
baller.
Allen any day of the week.
Give me Josh Allen right now.
Nah.
I would cut off my thumb to get Josh Allen on the Titans.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, for 4 years, 5 years, and then when
That's going to give me 4 years of just
playoff football.
Great football.
And then, but I mean, when you have expectations after a while, like, what do you do with that?
Yeah, the expectations part is, I guess, we have such low expectations for our teams
for y'all
at this
teams,
point.
my quarterback got a Super Bowl, so
See,
I
that's
guess
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
So
guess
it's
that's why
like-
I'm here now.
Like, dude, I haven't seen us make the NFC Championship game since 1991.
When last time y'all been to the wild card?
Oh, that was
Like 2 or 3 years
Yeah, it
ago.
was like 2020 because
Yeah.
we
When-
won.
he had a
won
losing
the
record,
division.
too.
Yeah, we had a losing record
when
and won
Scary
the
Terry
division.
went off.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he
Dude,
went
don't
off
get me
that year.
started. That guy is one of the best receivers in the league.
He just doesn't have a quarterback.
He will be gone soon. I hope he
Well, we
does.
just signed him to 3 years. So
and they gonna trade. There's a lot of trades gonna happen in the offseason.
yeah, probably. But we have, and I don't want to make this Commanders whatever, but we've got the most cap space in the league. We've got a new ownership group. We got new GM. So like he's straight from the 49ers. He was in
Yep.
the Christian McCaffrey deal. So
Still
like,
looking for a new coach,
I
though,
seen
right?
that.
yeah. Well, it's Ben Johnston. Pretty
Yeah, I
much.
heard
like,
that.
You think it's Ben Johnson?
Yeah, we've basically known it's been Ben Johnson. For
We'll
the past
we'll hit it.
couple
The
weeks.
head coaches in there in a minute, but the spots are closing up, and there's still 3 guys that it's like you got to see
Marquee guys.
you got to see Vrabel, Belichick, and Harbaugh where they're going to go, and there's not that many spots open.
Harbaugh to the Chargers, in my opinion.
Please.
And then
Please.
and then
Falcons, is a
Belichick?
toss. Dude.
I think Vrabel.
Well,
but if you're Vrabel, do you want to go? So okay, say that scenario happens. Say the Falcons get taken by Belichick, the Chargers get taken by Harbaugh. If you're Vrabel, do you want to go to the Carolina Panthers
No,
where if
sit
you
out,
lose?
sit out a year. Somebody else. Will be
Yeah, I was
gone.
just say I would sit out if I'm Vrabel. I'd be like, man, I'm just gonna go on bus with the boys and talk smack.
Yeah,
and
chill for a year and come
that
back.
is such a lose-lose situation in Carolina. That is, it's horrible. And I
Yeah.
feel bad for Bryce Young because he's a great quarterback. But dude, the offensive line he had, oh my gosh,
that roster he had was garbage.
they weren't. Yeah, they weren't
Garbage.
Very good.
I wasn't sold on him at
Bama.
Bama.
You
Yeah.
weren't sold on a Heisman Trophy winner and a national championship.
mean,
No,
when
he
you
didn't.
got-
He didn't win national. He went to the national
Yeah.
championship. He did not win it though.
Yeah.
what am I?
He went to it. He did not win it.
Who did he get beat by?
I think
Was
Georgia.
that Georgia?
Yeah, it was Georgia.
Oh, that was the
That was
okay.
Kaylee Ringo pick six,
Pick
like
six,
called
yeah.
game. He was like
interesting.
trying to win the game. But yeah,
I know. I just. I don't think small quarterbacks are it no more.
yeah.
Let's let's rank these 4 quarterbacks. Okay, do we have time for that?
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
we got plenty of
All
time.
right, I
We're
love
only
that.
at 12 minutes, guys.
I was
We
about
got
to say I
time.
love that.
Come
I
on.
want to do the rankings.
Come on,
So-
I think,
So okay, I'm gonna go first.
yeah, go for it. Yeah,
And as much as I love the guy, but Brock Purdy's last. He's 4. As much as I love the guy,
that is so bold.
as much as I love the guy,
So bold.
he's 4. Jared Goff's 3, and then as of right now, Lamar's 2, Patty's 1.
Okay.
Because as much as their season has not looked great, Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in this century outside of Tom Brady.
Dude, I mean, he's starting to push Tom Brady's legacy too. I mean,
No, if he
not
wins-
rings wise. Well, maybe even rings.
If he wins
ultimately.
if he wins a third one this year with this team,
yeah, with
No,
this team.
no, bro.
Dude.
But the defense is legit though.
their defense is
I
legit.
had an argument about that the other day. The Chiefs' defense is
Yeah.
a serious top 10 defense. in
and
the
that's
league.
why
he's doing the Eli Manning.
and
No,
that's
for
why I
real.
was so worried about them in the first half because the Bills were just running it right down their throat, and I was like, "Oh, well, this is how they lose because the defense is going to fail them in this scenario.
Right.
This is going to be the game in which the defense fails, and Patty's got to put the entire team on his back. But the defense made an adjustment in the second half,
That's what I'm saying.
and Patty just made a couple more
He
plays.
got 2 score. It wasn't even supposed to be go down to the last 5 minutes. The game's supposed to be over. Miko Hardman should be banned from Arrowhead, from every NFL stadium.
He was the new Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
He was picking up the Kadarius' slack.
Dude, I love Kadarius Toney.
I
though.
did,
As
too.
a player, I love that.
I love how
I
just
did, too.
If he
I
can
just love.
catch the football.
Well, that's his
That
job.
is literally
That is
his
his job.
But the way he runs routes, like I witnessed this dude in person when he came to Tennessee when he was at Florida, and like he is the quickest person I've ever seen play the game of football in
No,
my
he can
life.
move.
Like
Yeah, he can move.
Footwork nasty.
But this
But catching
this
the
part of his
football.
game struggles.
the money maker.
Yeah,
like
the
one
part that
they-
really
yeah.
matters.
put him
yeah.
at running back.
He could
He's gonna
play.
fumble it. He'll
Dude,
fumble
he
it.
could play.
Think he'll-
He'll fumble it,
Put him at
dude.
DB. Put him at DB.
No,
He'll
a
he'll bust an
5'7"
assignment.
DB.
Yeah.
He'll be like, "Oh, I thought it was man coverage," and they're like, "No, it was
Play the
you know,
flat.
Literally play-
It was Tampa
yeah.
2."
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about. So let's okay. What are your guys' rankings, real quick, and then we want to do Super Bowl predictions.
Do you want to go first? Or you want me to?
I got mine 4. 4 is Purdy only because he hasn't haven't experienced like the other ones. Golf been to a Super Bowl. Golf is at 3. I got Mahomes 2
Okay.
only because of the team. I don't think the team can get it done.
I mean, Lamar is going to be MVP.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he ain't gonna be MVP this season. That's 2 MVPs,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably will have AFC Championship and Super Bowl prediction later. But Lamar is one. He got it right now. He got
I don't
the
think
team.
that's unfair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not. I've got Purdy at 4, Goff at 3, Lamar at 2, and then Mahomes at 1, just because. And I get what you're saying
Mahomes.
about.
No,
I get what you're saying about the team wise, and that's why I think I've got Lamar at 2 rather than 1, is because Lamar actually has guys around him that can produce and make plays.
Mm-hmm.
I think like Mahomes, the fact they've made it even this far
is astounding.
Is unbelievable.
But it's Mahomes though. Like,
well,
and that's when you've got the guy, when you've got the Michael Jordan of your sport, that makes everybody better.
Everybody. Yeah.
And Lamar, hey, listen, Lamar's great, and he's going to win MVP, and he deserves it. But if he throws like 2 or 3 picks, then they're in real trouble.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, he's got that in him. He'll do turnovers in spurts.
So will Mahomes.
What's interesting though, I think about Lamar is that if he will tuck it and run before he lets that thing loose, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I almost think that, and he can throw the ball all over the yard. I do not want to get that misunderstood, but I think the thing, like the difference between Mahomes and him is that if there's like a tight window, he's not going to take that shot. He's going to tuck that thing and go get you the same amount of yardage as if you would have thrown that ball, right? So, and Mahomes can run a little bit, but he's just got the arm talent better than anybody in the league, in my opinion. Like I know Allen's can.
Mahomes got it.
The throws that he makes is like
Mahomes don't turn over the ball.
That's another thing too. He does not turn it over.
It'd be the receiver fault.
Yeah,
why he has.
Josh Allen will have a game where he throws 3 picks. Lamar will have a game where he has a couple fumbles and a pick.
Right.
Patty does not. When he throws 2 interceptions, it's like you better keep those balls because they didn't happen very often.
Yeah.
But all right, quick. Let's do Super Bowl predictions. I'm gonna go the Lions in the NFC side. I think they're gonna pull off the upset. Dan Campbell, man, I tell you what, he's gonna buy some kneecaps off. Baby. I tell you what,
I love Dan Campbell.
I think he's gonna look at his team and go, "Hey, listen, man, nobody believes in you. We're on the road. They're the better team. We're gonna buy some kneecaps off." So I think it's gonna be Lions. I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be the Chiefs. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think it's going to be an instant classic type of game. But I think Kansas City is going to get a call that goes in their favor
on the road.
On the road, I think, because I'm not saying that Taylor Swift is the reason, but I'm telling you, the refs in their history, they're going to get a call.
Mahomes does get one call a game.
It's going to be a call in which it's going to be controversial, but they're going to slip in the Super Bowl. And everyone's going to make conspiracy theories about it. It's all Taylor Swift.
Part of the script.
It's part of the script. But in reality, I do think that the Chiefs are going to make a play here and there. And there's always going to be that situation. If it's a 50-50 call, it's going to go in the Chiefs' favor. And that's the reality. It's the same thing with like Jordan back in his day. LeBron, you can argue, he may not get a foul. Not today. He doesn't get a foul call today. But kind of the same thing. If you're the best player in your league, you're going to get the referee call when it's on the line.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think I got the 49ers versus the Ravens just because I'm a huge conspiracy theory guy. I love those things. And so with the
colors.
Super Bowl graphic and the colors that's matched up for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
That matchup also makes sense.
Exactly. I mean, they're the 1 seeds, which obviously that that doesn't make me sound original, but I mean, I think that these are the 2 best teams in the league.
No doubt.
From defensive wise to offense to quarterback. I know Purdy, everybody says he's a product of the system, right? And many people are I think there's a right and a wrong way to answer that question, but dude, if you're making the playoffs every year and if you're doing the things he's doing, I'll be a system quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll hand the ball off to the best running back in the league behind the best offensive line and
doing
lean
what
on
he's
my
supposed
defense.
to do.
Like, I'll do that for I mean, I know he doesn't make as much as what he should, but still, I mean,
that's going to change here pretty soon.
Oh yeah,
he's not going to get top.
He's gonna get more than like $950,000 is what you're
he probably gonna get a cool 25.
What do you think? What do you think? Super Bowl prediction?
I got Lions and Ravens. I think
Really?
Debo being hurt.
That is a big factor.
I think that'll mess with Purdy because
Ayuk,
that Lions defense is legit too.
But Debo's like that wild card. You don't know where he's going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
so
no, you're right.
that limits the endless creativity in the offense that you don't know what's coming. And you kind of got an idea now. McCaffrey gonna have a night though.
Okay, so who you winning in the Super Bowl between your 2 teams? I mean, granted, we're gonna get to talk about this. That's a beautiful thing.
I think it's about time for Lamar to put on. Dang. I think it's time for Lamar to go ahead and put that ring on.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing is we're making predictions like 4 weeks out from the Super Bowl, and it's like we're going to be like, boy, we were wrong.
Yeah.
What do you think? Who out of your two teams?
I think the Ravens probably, unless Debo plays, I think it's going to be a really good game. First and foremost,
Debo plays.
I think it is too.
Yeah, as many Super Bowls are, like they're really good games, the best two teams in the league probably. But I just think the Ravens on defense, man, they are
legit.
good. Like they are just so stout
from
up
every
front and
mid linebacker, DB
No, literally.
play.
And that's the thing with the Lions is that you're going against Patrick. In my matchup, they're going against Patrick Mahomes, and their secondary is not it.
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
good
Gardner
enough.
Johnson getting back is huge, but their secondary is not. Like if I'm their GM, I'm spending multiple picks in the first and second round on.
Well, not too bad.
They've got C.J. Gardner Johnson was pretty solid. Cam Sutton got worked
Oh,
against Mike
yeah,
Evans, but
dude.
granted, it's also a Hall of
Mike,
Famer.
yeah.
So
right. Now, I will warn Detroit fans, they tried to get a guy in the 2020 draft, Jeff Okuda,
and it didn't work.
And it didn't work
he
out.
blew me.
So the thing about it is, like, do you really – like, I don't think this draft necessarily is cornerback heavy. If you wanted a defensive back, you got it in the last draft. This draft, I mean, who are you really going to – I mean,
The thing is, though, is they're not picking like they were top 5. They're picking back in the 28s and 29s now.
I mean, you're looking at, like – yeah, you're looking at a couple guys.
You
like
can
that-
get a steal. You can get a steal.
Yeah.
Hey, you
But
don't got
we'll
to be a first-round pick, but you spend, you get a second or third-round pick that can start. I mean, Kevin Byard was a third-round pick.
No, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
You can
but-
get that guy.
Yeah. No,
And
absolutely.
then trade
I
and
agree.
get some assets, and you can probably get a
Yeah.
decent
Yep.
corner now.
They signed Zach Ertz to their team this week randomly, which makes me the Lions, which makes me think Sammy Laporta may not be 100, which he's not healthy, but it makes me think he may not be able to
And
play.
that dude can ball out.
He
guy
was the
is
free agent
so
steal
good.
for me. I picked him up on waivers just
So
on a
good.
random Tuesday, and I kept him. All right, so we got about 9 minutes left. Boy, we talked a lot about football, as we should.
I mean, yeah, it's the prime time.
It's it's playoff football. It's championship week.
can't beat that.
You can't beat that. But
Let's hit NBA real quick.
let's hit some NBA because the season's continuing. We got the trade deadline right around the corner,
Oh,
which
my
that's going to be
goodness.
spicy. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the Celtics are still just kind of breaking away from everybody, just kind of putting the let arm out from everybody, just still doing their thing. But the
That is your
Timberwolves and
team.
That's my squad.
dude, the Timberwolves and Thunder, man, those are two teams that I think nobody looked at and was like, hey, that's going to be a top 2 or 3 team. I mean, I'm looking at them and I'm shocked at how good they are.
I don't think I'm as shocked as most people because back-to-back years they was like 6th to 8th seed. So I mean, you got 2 stars, Ant and Cat. Cat had 60 the other night. Ant averages 30. So I mean, you got it. Like you healthy. Cat was hurt all last year.
That's true.
People don't talk about that. He was hurt. 60-some, 70-some games.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they didn't really get a rhythm, and they still made it to the playoffs. In my eyes, this was their year to show me, okay, can you really do it, or do Cat need to go somewhere else?
And then you got the Thunder, who's had like multiple first-round picks, and they'll have it for like the next 20 years because
Yeah.
they just traded everybody.
They legit.
But I mean, that they surprised me. And listen, I'm not a big basketball guy. I'll admit that at the front. But when I'm looking at the Thunder and they're consistently in the top 2 or 3 in the division, I'm like, who saw that coming? Because
No.
they don't get talked about.
No, I didn't see that.
No one talks about them. And granted, they're a small market team, so I get it.
And Shea is him.
Which, speaking of big markets, I mean, the Nuggets aren't getting talked about. They're the defending champions, and nobody talks about them at all.
They ended the Celtics' like 28-game home winning streak the other night,
And nobody talks about them.
yeah, nobody talked. Man,
I don't know why.
Now say it. It bothers you.
It bothers me.
It bothers me too.
No, it does because, and listen, and we're talking about this right here. I mean, the Warriors and Lakers, they eat up a lot of the national media. And listen, I get it. You got Curry, LeBron. Those are 2 of the bigger stars in the NBA. But we're talking about 2 teams that are at the bottom of the conference and, the Western Conference, and they're the ones getting talked about the most. I mean, does that bother you guys at all? Like,
yeah, because I just cannot stand the Lakers. Like the Lakers are one of the most overrated franchises in the past 15 years, 20 years. I
Yeah.
mean, ultimately, like they
Overrated.
literally have, yeah, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, I
mean,
agree. I agree.
15, 20 years, they have literally done nothing. Unless you want to count the fake bubble.
That's not
championship.
fake.
But
That's
dude,
not
that's
fake.
so fake. Like
No, it's
I was talking,
not.
or I heard a podcast about this the other day, and they were like talking about how like, but it's any of the teams. Like it was the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like they won in a bubble with the NHL, and then you had the Lakers. They won in a bubble. Like nobody wanted to be there except for LeBron.
It's not my fault they didn't want to be there.
No, but
I
at the
get it,
same
but-
time, it's like you can't count it as the same
No,
thing.
yes, you can.
You didn't have to.
It was
You
harder.
didn't play a full season.
It was harder.
Yeah, you played what? What did you play?
Is it
40
harder?
games?
It was not harder. It was
No.
more inconvenient.
No, Bam Adebayo said on Udonis Haslam and Mike Miller podcast, OGs. He said,
Such a mainstream podcast, dude.
yeah, it is. I don't watch it. I just watch
That's
the
funny.
clips. I just watch the
Mike
clips.
Miller was a dog back in the day.
No, he was. He was. But Bam said that was the hardest finals he's ever been in. And he was in the regular one with the Nuggets. He said that was it was
I think
different.
it was more inconvenient more than it was harder.
Nah, it was harder. You
All
gonna
right.
tell the man that played in it?
No, but I just, again, I'm looking
Well, they
at
also
it.
got they also got ran by the Nuggets.
No, they did. They got ran by the
mean,
Lakers too. So
Yeah, but dude, at that point, like, I just know, like, from an athlete's perspective, and I'm nowhere near the athlete that they are. But like, if I was in a bubble and I had to live there for like multiple months at a time,
Be away from my family,
be away from the
not
family,
sleep in my
dude,
bed.
I would be ready to get out of there so fast, and I really wouldn't care how I did that, whether it was like, and I know kind of competitive, but like,
yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, I love to compete, so I know if this is so far the easiest way to get a championship, oh well, let me lock in while everybody else going downhill.
but you didn't have to go on the road.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you didn't have to, like, it was quiet in there. Like, there was, and I know basketball's different than other sports, but like,
You feed off the crowd,
dude.
yeah.
Momentum in basketball is more important than in baseball and football, in my opinion.
No, it is.
Like,
It is.
That's a good argument.
So it's, you didn't have to go. You didn't have to go to Boston. You didn't have to go to Milwaukee. You didn't have to go to Miami or any of these like big market teams.
Yeah,
you know
you
what I'm
did.
saying?
You played in You played in Mickey's backyard, and that was it.
That's crazy, dude.
But I think it was legit.
but I guess congrats to the Lakers. Like,
Oh
whatever.
my god!
All right.
If the
So-
Celtics would have won, though, it would have counted.
No, I don't know.
Nah.
I probably
All
wouldn't
right.
count it. but
Speaking of the Lakers, some trade deadline. Like I said, it's right around the corner,
Oh,
and
my
two
goodness.
guys that have been talked about heavily that the Lakers are going to try to acquire: Donovan Spider Mitchell and Trae Young. And I feel like we have this conversation every single year about the Lakers. There's a big name free agent who maybe not be happy in this current situation. Maybe particularly Trae Young because the Hawks aren't very good.
Yeah, they dookie.
But the same thing happens every year, and one or two things always happens. They either don't get them, and the franchise is trash because they aren't able to acquire the big name trade target, or two, they do get it, and it doesn't work out, and they were stupid for getting that trade target, and it's the same thing every year. So, let's be honest. Do you think either one of those guys makes them a contender if they are able to acquire them?
They can't afford them.
That's the thing.
it
It's like
is. LeBron James, the worst GM in the league, and you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about. He's
No,
the
that's
worst
true.
GM in the league.
I think it's hard to pair LeBron with star guards. Him and Anthony Davis work. They work.
Well, here's the thing: is him and Kyrie worked, but the whole team, that Cavaliers team, was a good full team.
Because you built it around LeBron
Mm-hmm.
and Kyrie. You didn't try to just add pieces.
Yeah, and everyone thinks like that it's 2K. Where like, oh, if you add Spider, then hey, that team turns into like a
that's
95
not
overall, and it's
yeah.
like, hey man, you have to have somebody else play other than those three guys.
No facts.
And I feel like that's been the retread story in LA is like they may get that player, but you give up your entire bench to get them. So now you got your bench is terrible. And so if those three guys aren't on the court, then
Coach is
nothing
terrible
happens.
too. That's the problem. It's the coach.
Is it the coach? 'Cause,
Yeah,
I mean,
Darvin Ham.
I feel like-
what coach y'all know ever had their hands in their pocket the entire game?
Well,
Pee-wee.
only the coaches that coach LeBron because they can't. I mean, they're not going to coach him.
yeah,
because
what are you going to tell
they-
LeBron James?
Well,
like, what are you going
that-
to tell? Are you going to tell him what to do? He's going to be like, I'm going to do
Yes.
my thing.
I mean,
LeBron not like
I'm going to
that.
back
dude,
in the
LeBron
paint.
literally is like that.
I don't
I'm going to
think
back.
like that.
I'm going to back. I'm either going to do one or two things. I'm going to back myself in the paint, throw it to a 3-point shooter, or I'm going to run through this paint like a train.
Does
and
it not work,
dunk
though?
It. It works for him, but when when he's not on the court and the rest of the team has to do some semblance of offense and they don't know what they're doing, then it's kind of like, what are we doing here?
That's a reach.
all right. So,
Lakers.
all right, we got 1 minute, or actually, dang it, we're running out of time. All right, we were going to talk about Nick Saban retiring. We'll talk about that next episode, the impact of him.
I know
you beat Nick Saban once, and that's what you got to hold on to
last
for the rest of your
I
life.
put Nick Saban in a coffin.
Michigan put him in the coffin, not you. But all right, let's get out of here.
We were the
First of all, Steve Sawyer, Doc V, David Ellison, shout out to them for making this thing happen behind the scenes. Peay Churn, Isabella Christensen, Trey Whiteout for doing everything technical wise, helping us out. Reece Britt, Dillon Walton. My name is Kristian Hunt. This has been the first episode of the second season of Role Players. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.